What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are here today with the turboX, and it is time for the car to go to the paint shop to get our rear quarter panels repaired. We're gonna get those painted, blended into the quarter panel from the paint repair that I did, from the rust damage that there was that we fixed. And of course, the other thing that we need to do is take off this spoiler here, because as you can see, for some weird reason, this has lost some paint. So the gentleman at the shop said he'll throw that in there, no charge, as long as we take it off the car. So before we bring the car over there, we're gonna take that off. So I know some people online or people that I talked to said that this is glued down, but typically Saabs and other cars have some little bolts that go through the bumper with 10mm nuts on the other end. So before I start heating this up and going crazy, I'm gonna go and take apart the inside of the trunk liner to see what's going on in there. And of course, just in Saab fashion, the trunk liner is held in by those push rivet clips that you push in and then you pull out. So we're gonna go ahead and remove those and probably take our Torx bit and remove the handle here, which is also typical of Saab. Very, very straightforward. And just as I assumed, there is 10mm bolts. Let me pull the camera. All right, guys, good news, good news. There might be some double-sided tape under there, but for the most part, it looks like the rear spoiler on the turboX is held in with some clips. A bolt also here that is on the top of the trunk lid. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna unscrew those 10mm nuts, pretty easy. And then we'll go ahead and remove this spoiler. Alright guys, now that I got it started, I'm just going to heat up this side and hopefully get the rest of it. Getting the glue off the paint will be the fun part. And just like that, guys. Alright guys, so we are taking the car in. Next time we see it, the side rear quarter panels will be freshly painted, looking good. I'm pretty excited. This is one of the last few things to be done on the car for the car to be completed. We got to do tires. I'm going to do a full paint correction, and we're also going to be servicing the all-wheel drive system. There is that kit that's on esaabparts.com. I know a lot of you guys in the description or in the comments have been suggesting I make sure to do it. I do have that on my to-do list. I'm just kind of waiting to get all these important things done. But at the moment, we're taking care of the paint, then we got the tires, and we got to do paint correction, which is around the entire car. We're going to buff it out. Again, I know I did it earlier on, a one step, but this thing needs more of that. And like I said earlier, there's some pinpoint dents around the car that we're gonna just take a dentless paint remover, or a paintless dent remover, excuse me, and go ahead and take care of that. So we'll see you guys here in a minute. All right, boys, it's a couple of days later. Actually, it's almost a week later since we dropped off this turboX at the paint shop. A lot of good things have happened since we dropped it off. So instead of me talking, let's hop right into it, and I'll show you step by step. And since it's raining, I just washed the car off camera, dried it in the garage because I'm about to work on it. I don't want it dripping all over me. But hopefully, by the end of this episode, I can do a complete walk-around tour of everything that was done on this car. And now that I got it back, seeing everything again, it just shows me how much more work is still left to be done. But a lot of things have been done, so be sure to stay tuned here, boys. Let's go. A freshly painted spoiler. If you know from the previous video or earlier in this clip, I was showing myself removing this from the car. It had some sort of, I don't know how, but sun faded all over it. So I purchased an adhesive remover off Amazon. I'll link it below. But in the next clip right here, I'm gonna go ahead and remove all of the old double-sided tape that's still left on the car and spoiler, so we can go ahead and reapply some fresh double-sided tape, and then we'll bolt this down through the holes as you see. We'll go from there. Alright, we killed 2 batteries. Now we're going to take some wax and grease remover, clean this up, and then finish installing. Alright boys, there's one thing I asked the shop to do on top of the spoiler. I did ask them to throw in the side skirts since they were a little bit beat up from the rock road that this car lived on. The rest of the paint isn't so bad, but that took most of the beating towards the front end underneath. So since they were painting, I asked, why not go ahead and take care of it? So they did. So we're going to reinstall those now, so let's check them out. Alright, so before I install that, I'm going to dry up the paint that's behind there since it's wet outside. And just by doing that, I confirmed that we have the side skirts the right side, and I'll show you why. If you look carefully right here, boys, if you ever want to remove, this is how you know. You see this little clip right here? There's a little hole towards the back of the car. So what I'm going to do is essentially install that clip first and then go ahead and line up the rest of it. That's your holding point, so it's a one-man job, apparently. So we got this back on there. As you can see, all of the lines are matching up nicely. So the last thing I'm going to do here, guys, is take the 10mm socket and we're going to secure the underneath, and then we'll go ahead and put the rubber molding back in place. Alright boys, we are fully secured now, minus the fender liners, or yeah, the inner fender liners, which we'll get to in the next episode. Now we're going to take the rubber molding, secure it back up inside the door trim there. Alright guys, we have the weather strip in place, secured that completely. Time to go to the other side, do it again. Alright guys, that was a pretty easy task. Look at this fresh paint, looking pretty good. Don't worry, by the end of this video you will have a full walk around out in the daylight, hopefully when it's not raining, so don't worry, don't you worry. So we got the side skirt all the molding there. I had this clip here was a little busted, so I put a little adhesive in there to secure that. Rear spoiler, and the last thing we're gonna do in this episode before the walk around outdoor is just go ahead and install the other side of the other side. We're gonna install the other side skirt. Let's do it. All right, since it's dark out, we got our fire of light over here. Let's pull out this car. I'll give you a little quick walk around. Just, I don't know if you can see it in the garage here, but beautifully painted, fresh spoiler there. It looks really awesome there. All right, so here we go. Guys, what's up, Kizzy boy? What's up, buddy? What's up? Taking your evening poo, huh, buddy? All right, so there is a lot of paint correction still to be had on the original paint, but let's start on this side. All right. Fresh painted side skirt, rear quarter panel there. Still have a lot of paint correction and work to be done on this car. Nowhere near finished. On this side, it's about the same. This side, we had a huge rust over here. It was all taken care of and fixed. So pretty exciting. All right, boys, that's a wrap for now. Stay tuned. All right, guys, here is a little walk around tour. You can see where we need to do some paint correction. Fresh paint versus the old paint. There is the spoiler. Spoiler looking good. This side looks good. It's coming back. It's coming back. We got a lot of work to do. So that is a wrap on this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I like this car. I don't know if I should sell it or not, but I do want to suggest, or I do want to ask you guys a question. Do you think we should put a wrap on this car now that we have it all finished, painted, and everything's corrected? Maybe put a nice cool wrap on it that says TurboX along the side or something neat. I do still need to do a paint correction like we discussed. I still need to do the all-wheel drive system service and some other little things, detail the interior. I did put a new floor mat in there I purchased, so that is good. So let me know your thoughts below if we should do a wrap. This car is sexy. It's really awesome to drive. I do enjoy it. It's different than any other Saab that I've driven. I will suggest that. So pretty unique if you guys are familiar with all of the Saab cars out there. So be sure to like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys have any suggestions or comments, like I said, please drop them below. Your support is appreciated. Thanks.